the pit lane after essentially being screwed over by a virtual safety car. That means Arman Plays will get a massive benefit off of this. It might not be quite enough to get a move done, but it should close up drastically. It's a 30-second gap right now, which will now obviously drastically cut down as we go across the pit lane. There you go, you can see the time ticking down, and it is a fastest sector 3 for Arman right now, and it's a little bit closer. It's 3 seconds closer, but it's just not enough to really be considered anything. And Quick Killers, there you go, retiring in the pit lane. So also nothing of substantial noteworthiness. That's not going to cause a safety car or anything. So everyone can just relax as Smithy and Simon Busfan finally come into the pit lane after so very long out on track. They've just taken absolutely forever. And oh no, what's happened? Oh, the rage. Oh my god, the rage that would cause me. Oh, I'm so sorry, boys, that you've just had to endure that. That must have really hurt you. Because that would have really hurt me if that had happened to me. Nevertheless, we'll stick with these guys because they're the closest two people together. Smithy and Simon Barstafan. I think Smithy has just come in for a penalty, and yet he's on 5. Oh, he must have come in for a drive-through then. Did he get a drive-through under virtual safety car? Tut, tut, tut. Either way, they're still the closest drivers together, even being 2 seconds apart. J-Horse is champion as of right now. Although Rick is back up into P7, so he's doing a bit better for himself, you know. But no, J-Horse, by definition, has to finish whatever 14 points lower than 26 is. So he could, maximum amount of points he could score would be 26 minus 14. He could only score 12 points with Rick winning to cause the championship to continue, meaning for Rick to, if Rick won it, if Rick won, J-Horse would have to finish 8th to cause this championship to go to the next round. So as of right now, J-Horse will have to go where Smithy is, and Rick has to go where J-Horse is, and Smithy can go where Rick is. So not ideal. We'll go with that. We'll go with that. It's not an ideal position right now for Rick, who hasn't been driving at his optimal pace. You know, J-Horse has been really on top of his game to wrap this championship up. You can so clearly tell that he wanted to win this, coming in absolutely blitzing everyone in qualifying. Obviously he hasn't quite stayed in the lead the entire time due to, you know, coming in for a pit stop, but I mean, other than that, he has led every other lap and has done very well indeed. Other than that though, it's quiet out on track, it really is. We really need a safety car to get some life back into this race, because everybody is very distanced apart. We've got 1 minute 18 gap to leader, which isn't ideal, to be totally honest. If you look at those times, they are quite painful to look at, to be honest. They are a little bit painful. Either way, we have got a little fight at the back. Aero Blake and Jimmy Jags. Aero Blake hasn't had a very good race at all, has he, either? He's had just a race plagued of problems, with Jimmy Jags running extremely wide there, or for him known as the racing line. And yeah, so it's been unfortunate for Aero Blake. He's just not had the kind of race he wanted to either. I'll keep you updated on this. He's nearly pulled it off there. Jimmy Jags has held his own nicely. Little switchback possible. Error Blake with a much, much faster exit. That is beyond speed in comparison. Gets past comfortably. I don't think Jimmy Jags is going to launch one. No, I don't. He physically can't. Even with a wide run by Error Blake, that's just not happening. Well, the race is quiet. It's quiet, it really is. And I mean, not saying anything, but if you're completely and utterly doomed in this race, you may as well, you know, you may as well go for it and cause a little safety car. You know, brighten up our day in that, because oh dear, it's bad. You know, it's... Oh, what's happened? Since when were they fighting? They weren't fighting. Bluebird must have had a problem, because they were not fighting in the slightest. Oh, I just didn't want to see that. That's really depressing. We're losing 2-0 to Forest. Oh, I want to cry. Oh, I want to bawl my eyes out. That's very sad. I mean, I know that's not particularly professional of me, but nevertheless, the truth can hurt, and yeah, that hurt. What game is she watching? Please don't be Tottenham Forest. Oh, it's not, it's Wolves, I'm pretty sure. Oh no, what's happened to Bluebird? Why is it not caused a safety car, man? No! Bluebird is out, ladies and gentlemen. Bluebird is out. I mean, I can't say I was particularly expecting that to occur. I mean, Bluebird seemed to be running okay. But no! Sorry, but clearly not, because it's all just gone a bit wrong for him. Well, my phone won't load. I want to see what just happened, because it was an event. It was something. It was something to look at and to watch, and I missed it. How on earth did I miss it? Right, here we go. What happened? He's gone spinning around the... Oh, no. Oh, he's just got a little bit loose and overcorrected. That's probably why I wasn't expecting it. Ooh, that hurts. That hurts. Other than that, Jackalacko still hasn't overtaken him. Jackalacko is having a horrible race. It's just not gone well for him at all. By that though, it's lap 24 of 29, so we've got 5 laps of racing to go. I mean, I don't really know what to say, to be honest. Other than, last season, it was very different. There was nowhere near, I guess, quite as much attention on us. It was a lot quieter, it was a lot simpler. The times were good. But once upon a time we had J Horse do this again. He did it a couple of rounds earlier though. I think he did it with 3 rounds to go. He won the championship. J Horse is just a bit quick. And me and him came up with an idea in which J Horse commentated on the final race of the season. I think he did it with someone else as well. And I took his seat. Now, at the end of that race, I went on and chatted with him for a little minute. And we talked about if this happens again next year, we'll do this again. And then we spoke about it again in Bahrain. And we haven't really spoken about it since. Bahrain was our season opener. And I'm interested to see whether he's down or not, because with this win that secures the championship happily for him. And not happily, it's not even a happy secure of the championship, it is a definitive securement of the championship. Even more so, if I then went ahead and won the championship, where would I sit? If I went ahead and won next race, where would I sit? That's really interesting to me. I'd sit 19th in the calendar. Oh, I wouldn't be very good. But no, I'd be very much down to do it again. We're at Brazil next week, so you might have me tomorrow next week. You might not. Don't know yet. Completely and utterly down to whether J Horse wants to or not, because I'd be down. It's just a matter of whether he'd be down, and I don't know. If he is, I say we go for it. Have a laugh. I am notorious for causing entertainment. If I'm good in a commentary box, I go for moves which probably I shouldn't, because in my head I've got nothing to lose. So that's kind of how I think about everything. J Horse has just gone and lapped some people. Yes, that is the case. As you can see here, it's a minute 26 now, with the fast enough a minute 25. So yeah, bit of a difference. Jackalacko just horribly behind. I think J Horse might have overtaken him twice now. Nearly anyway. SX Perry with a 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. That's also something to note. Penalties, let's look at penalties. As of right now, Smithy moves down. No, he doesn't. Some bus fan has much more penalties. No, he does. Aeroblake moves to the top, moves up to P7. So Aeroblake right now in for a lovely little buffer without actually having to do anything, which is it's what you want. But what is absolutely terrifying is this is Aeroblake, and that little speck just over there, that's J Horse. He's coming round to lap P9. I mean, he's still got a long way to go, admittedly, but nevertheless, you'll just see him just appear ever so briefly. I mean, there he is. The cars are quite a way ahead, but it's still scary. Oh, Simon Barthelvans managed to get round. So Simon Barthelvans needs to pull 2-second gap here to secure 8th, because Aeroblake will go above both of these boys as of right now. Simon Barthelvans would have to put on a damn right miracle to get in front of Aeroblake, because Aeroblake at the moment looks the most pacey of these lot. Either way, coming around the corner now, and what will be starting lap 28 just now. J-Horse obviously just behind, so these boys are basically, when we do tick onto lap 29 and J-Horse finishes, once we tick onto a theoretical lap 30 from these guys, that's actually lap 29 for them. So J-Horse is going to finish, and we're going to have to wait another minute for these guys to get past. Because there's J-Horse in the background, who has admittedly really caught up. He's a lot closer this time round. I mean, the fact that you can see him in the background says a lot this time. You couldn't see him last time round. You couldn't see him do that last time. You can this time, and that's kind of scary. These guys still as close as ever to one another, being rather relentless, to be honest. As all of a sudden we've gone from having no fights whatsoever to quite a three-way fight, with Jackalacco just sat there in the background. Here we go, ticked on to lap 29 now, final lap. Well, final lap for J-Horse, that is. This is second to last lap at the moment. These guys are on lap 28. And, oh, big squiggle there for Aero Blake. But considering the fact I'm beginning to see a lack of theoretical possibility of something occurring here, I would like to turn our attention to this man. J-Horse this season, Bahrain, Spain, Miami, Canada, Silverstone, Austria, Belgium, Netherlands, Monza and Mexico have all been races that he's won this year of the 13 we've done so far. And as he rounds the final corner, J-Horse becomes Season 2 Champion of the World! And with another win to add to his tally, J-Horse very slowly passes everybody else as he drives extremely slowly around for his final lap, and Armand Plays picks up a very well deserved P2, 15 seconds behind. It was a dominant display from the Ferrari, as we've seen oh so many times, and Mr. Cookie now rounds out the top three, a whole 30 seconds back from the leader. Henson now wrapping around the final corner. The Williams comes in P4 for the penultimate race of the season with a nice little 10-second buffer as of right now, as Aero Blake has managed to get himself past Simon Barsfan and Smithy. So very impressive final lap from him, as he would have done it anyway, but he's managed to do it on track as well. We'll take a little look at the man who was fighting, but the fight is now over. Rick lands P6 at the end of this race, which takes him out of the championship. Rick now has to hold on to P2. I'm not sure whether it is confirmed with that race result or not. Looking now, Aero Blake comes home to take P7, and with that, the other two drivers finish, round out the end of this race. But congratulations to a man that has won so much today, and the driver of the day going to the championship rival, Rick. But that is not the man who has taken it, it's him, 2 years in the running. The Ferrari hero bringing the heart back to Italy. Your champion, J-Horse. Horse becomes champion of the world with a Grand Slam finale, and Arman plays in P2. Mr. Cookie comes in P3, as I said earlier, and Henson in P4, Hazard P5, and Rick in P6. Aero Blake from McLaren in P7, and Simon Barsafan in P8. Smithy in P9 with SX Perry P10, Jimmy Jags in P11, and Jackalacco P12. Bluebird in P13 and Quick Killers in P14, with Scotty rounding out the list and Bluebird being the final of the DNFs, so only the top 12 finished. But nevertheless, I think it's about time that we have a little chat with our drivers, because oh my goodness, this is going to be one of our better ones. I do hope so anyway. It's some great drivers to have as well. It's Mr. Cookie, it is J Horse, and it is Arman. Right, just get that voice chat set up. Lovely stuff. Boys, join whenever you are ready, please. Oh, Henson wants one. Go on, we'll give it to him. He's a nice chap. I think Henson can get one. All I know is, obviously, I made a thing for Spain, didn't I? Round 4. Safe to say, I'm not doing it for that. That was a horrible race. All right, boys.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm completely fine, actually.
Right, well, usually I go in third to first, but I feel like on such an occasion we should talk to our winner first, because he hasn't just won the race, he's gone and won the whole championship. J-Horse, how are you feeling?
Good. That was a fun race for me. Didn't seem very fun for you, for everyone behind. But yeah, no, good way to win it. I'm yeah, pretty happy.
Is that it? To be honest,
yeah,
I mean, you didn't have to do a whole lot, did you?
No, it was just, 29 laps start to finish. Yeah, I think obviously a bit more, enthusiastic if you win it like on the last lap or something. But yeah, no, it was really good. Grand Slam was a pretty good way to finish it off as well. So I'm just happy that it means I can come join you in the commentary booth next week. So
yeah. Oh, that's a valid point. Are you joining me or are you replacing me?
well, I'll join you. Because I think we've still got the constructors to fight for.
Oh, do you?
Well,
Oh,
join
okay. Yeah, all right, fair enough.
Unless you want to be the other Ferrari, no pressure.
Oh no, I mean, if you've got a Ferrari empty, I'll join you with Ferrari, but I won't nick your seat because let's be honest here, I'm not going to be wrapping up a constructors championship for you.
Well, you never know. You never. If you're as good at driving as you are at commentating, it'll be fine.
What could possibly go wrong? But nevertheless, we'll take. Since this race didn't really have much to talk about, we'll talk about the kind of the season as a whole. When you first started the season, obviously it wasn't a win straight off the bat, like we kind of know of you. Was you expecting it to be a bit more challenging this year? Because obviously last time round it was a bit easy, wasn't it?
No, I don't think it was like completely a whitewash. I think up until I had Canada and Silverstone. I think after that the gap was at 9 points or something like that. And I think maybe I left quite a few wins on the table. I felt like it was close then. I think I just had about 4 in a row, and that's made it look a bit easier than maybe it felt. But it's been fun. It's always nice when it's challenging, but not too challenging that it stresses me out every Wednesday. So it was good. Definitely a lot more fun. Not more fun, but more challenging than last year.
Yeah, and with a general consensus to like challenge, have you felt like this game has been, or this season has been a bit more competitive as a whole? Or obviously for you, obviously it has been. You're much closer to second place this year round. But as a general thing, have you felt the competition has improved?
Yeah, I think so. I think the new point system helps, makes everything a lot closer. And I think the driving's been from everyone's been, I think, better than last year. I think a lot more competitive. I think a few drivers who would have been up there maybe haven't just been able to turn up as much. I know Sim Guy hasn't been able to turn up to every race. Obviously, Aero Blake had he's not able to turn up, and Lifebout came in halfway through the season. So, and obviously we've got Bluebird as well. So, yeah, I think going into next season it's looking super competitive. So it should be a good one, even though I'm not competing. So, yeah.
You're not competing?
I'm moving on to wheel after this, and I'm gonna race, and I'll race for the constructors. But I think drivers, I'm just gonna, I quite fancy just driving and getting used to it rather than having the pressure of a driver's title to win. So looking forward to that. Actually, it'd be quite nice.
I was very concerned there that you were about to announce your retirement. Jesus.
Oh no!
God,
never leave.
God, you nearly gave me a heart attack.
Then you'd have Rick as winning every week. No one wants that. Nobody wants that.
What wheel are you getting?
Say again.
What wheel are you moving on to?
It is the Thrustmaster open wheel one, the F1. Not the Ferrari
good
one,
choice.
the
TX?
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah, good choice. Honestly, from a wheel player myself, it'll take you like a couple of weeks to get used to it. But especially by the end of next season, you'll be like a second quicker, which I mean is a problem considering the fact that you're already about 3 seconds quicker than everybody else. But
yeah, well, I wouldn't say that. But yeah, no, it would be. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to make it a lot more fun for me as well. Because I mean, by the end of most races, my hands are cramped up, and I fancy a bit more of an immersive experience. Although my bank account obviously isn't thanking me because it's all quite expensive.
Tell me about it. I mean, other than that, so looking into next season, you're not expecting to be quite as competitive. How do you think you will rank up against everybody else?
I honestly have no idea. I've never raced a wheel before.
So it's very touch and go as of right now.
Could be in the middle, could be at the back, could be same. Obviously, I think we have, I think it's 3 or 4 week break. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah.
and I haven't got I'm still yet to get the servo base, so I can't start practicing just yet.
Yeah, that's not exactly helpful.
No, no.
But nevertheless, we've still got one more race of the season to go. Two? No, we don't. We've got one. Abu
said we
Dhabi.
do.
Oh, we do. Oh, I thought you said we got two. Jesus.
Don't scare me like that.
So we got one more round. Brazil. Obviously, you've still got a good chance of driving to wrap up the constructors, of course you are. Brazil. How do you feel about Brazil?
I like it. I like it a lot. I think you watched me there. Was it yesterday?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. So one of my favourite tracks. I think quite lucky that I think Abu Dhabi and Brazil are two of my best tracks to end the season. So it's a good time. So let's hope it goes as well as today did.
Well, other than that, congratulations, champion.
Thank you very much.
Do enjoy it, even if it's not as quite an exciting finish as others may have hoped for.
I'm going to get absolutely hammered.
But I think that is a logical thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, BRL is definitely worthy of wiping your bank account on expensive champagne.
I think. Pub by myself, and I'm going to order some Moe and 10 shots of tequila, and I'm going to tell everyone I'm the BRL champion.
That sounds perfectly reasonable. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you, mate.
See you next week.
See you next week, mate. Hope to be commentating with you.
Nice. See you later.
See you later, mate.
Alrighty, so let's move on to our other podium position, Mr. Cookie. It was P3. Did it particularly feel like P3?
Not really, actually. It didn't really feel like anything by the last 10 laps. It was just kind of driving around at that rate. There's just nothing really going on. I think by the end of the race, I think I was 16 seconds behind P2, and then I think I was only 13 seconds ahead of P4. So it was just, it was quite boring, and I think it's not really how an Abu Dhabi race should go, considering it's normally one of the more final races. But I was glad it was as calm as it was for me, and I know it wasn't for some other people, but for me, I think, it was just a nice one to end on for Abu Dhabi, and then Brazil, of course. I don't know how I'm going to do for that, but we'll see. We'll see.
Alrighty, so nevertheless, it is still a decent result from you, and a P6 from your teammate has given you still a pretty good shout of winning the Constructors' Championship. How confident are you feeling on that basis?
I mean, I don't really think about it too much. I just go into the race and see what I can do. There's no real point in trying to constantly go, what about the constructors? Where am I going to finish? There's no reason to put that kind of on you. And I think it's just a bit better if you just try and relax before the race and just
enjoy it.
You don't need to go all out practice, everything else like that. And it's just a nice way of just calming yourself down before a championship fight like that.
And
I don't really have much else to say. I mean, the race was quite boring. There's nothing much else. I don't have any words here.
It was a very, very quiet race. We'll do our 3 World Race Roundup all together afterwards, so hang on for a minute. And nevertheless, enjoy your podium, obviously. And I'll talk to you in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, that's all right, mate.
Alrighty, so since P2 couldn't be with us because he's got a broken mic, we've decided to sub him in for P4. Henson, how are you?
Hello, I'm good, thanks.
How did the race go, first of all?
Completely and utterly boring. I was like 10 seconds away from anyone for the last maybe 15 laps. I had a good battle with Simon Barsafan, I think it was, and Smithy. That was it, they both boxed. So then, there's no one near me. I was like 22 seconds ahead of Rick for the whole thing.
I think conclusively from all three of us, all four, it has been a yawn fest of an Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Nevertheless, kind of moving aside from this race, there's not really an awful lot to talk about. We'll look ahead to the future. Brazil next week. How are you feeling?
I'm quite confident, actually. I never normally am. But I always go quite well around Brazil for some reason. I've got like 3 podiums there before, I think. I won here in a different league a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, just quietly confident.
Okay. I mean, other than that, is there anything you really want to add about the race? Because I can't really say there was much I really wanted to ask anybody about.
I got turned in on at turn 2. It caused a massive pile-up behind me from what I could see. So a couple of
lovely.
thoughts incoming.
Oh, that's just... I don't know who the stewards are, actually, but they're going to absolutely love that one.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Oh, we got one of them.
I'm one as well. So is Jay.
I didn't see what was going on behind me, so this can be very, very fun to watch.
All 3 of us are stewards.
All stewards. Oh. No.
This could be very, very interesting.
Yeah, have fun.
We caused a couple incidents.
Yeah. Other than that, should we move on to 3-word race roundup? We'll start with you, R. Henson.
I cannot think of one for this. I'll just do one boring.
Boring, Mr. Cookie.
Same thing. I really don't have much. I think it's just there's nothing to say about it.
J Horse, please, positive. You got to have something positive.
You want positive?
Yeah.
Okay.
Silence.
He's just processing.
I mean, yeah, Grand Slam, baby.
Grand Slam, baby.
All I can think about. Yeah, the rest of it seemed quite dull as well.
Yeah, well, I think that's probably the most spaced out the grid has been in any BRL race that we've ever had. I'm pretty sure it was about 40 seconds between J Horse and R. Henson. Really,
First and fifth was a minute.
First and fifth's a minute. That says a lot, doesn't it? But nevertheless, congratulations on your podiums and 4th places. And I will see you all next week for hopefully a bit more of an entertaining final race of the season.
I'll see you then.
I hope so.
See you guys later.
Mr. Cookie off like I did in a different Brazil.
Hey, no. People off.
Alright, see you next week.
Thanks, Harry. See you next week.
Alright, so that wraps up the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, which, in my honest opinion, could have been a bit better. It was a bit of a snooze fest, I can't lie. But nevertheless, thank you for anybody that stuck around. And we haven't got a new world champion. It's the exact same as last year. It's a shocker, but it's not a shocker at the same time because J Horse is just ridiculously fast. But as he said, we could be on for a new champion this next season. That was some brand new insider information that you've got here from BRL Race Day. There you go. I'm bringing in the best of the information that you can get. Other than that, thank you all very much for watching. Even if you're already asleep, I'll just say thank you very much for watching. And good night.